Hey guys, it's Ghosdee, and I wanted to take the time to explain what happened to Saw Month and pretty much me in general in the month of May. I was supposed to be covering the entire Saw series in the month of May, but I ended up not doing that. My mental health got really bad. It got so bad that I ended up in inpatient for about a week. I've been out for 2 weeks and I've been in outpatient since then, but obviously while I was going through everything, I could not do anything for my YouTube channel. I did manage to record my Saw ranked episode, and that will be edited and out to you all. But the only other Saw video that I planned that I actually did do was my Spiral review. And I actually ended up seeing Spiral the day I got out of inpatient. That was the day it premiered. I recorded the review in my bed, however, because I really wanted to review this movie. I really wanted to, and I knew I wasn't capable of getting a good edit out. I just mentally wasn't there. And I'm honestly still not, hence why it's not gonna be edited. I'm just gonna get it out to you all, because I know some people are like excited about my opinions on Saw. Saw is my favorite series. I was really excited to be celebrating it this month, but I'm not mad that I had to go take care of myself. And I'm not mad that I took the time to take care of myself. With that being said, we're only getting 2 Saw videos. I plan to do 4. There's another one that I may do at a later time, collab with a friend. I think that's what we're gonna try and do. For now, we're only getting the Spy review and my Saw films ranked, which I think are the more important ones anyway, so you know, it all worked out. I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around while I didn't release a single video in a month, and promoted this whole thing and didn't even follow through with it. I just want to say, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, get a therapist if you can. Just make sure you're thinking of yourself before you go into anything. That's my spiel. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my Spiral review video, unedited and with spoilers. I literally just got out of the theater maybe 2 hours ago, and I wanted to make a proper video for this, but I just have a lot to say and I kind of want to just get this out. And I'm just gonna post this, no edits guys, no fucking edits. Initially I was really into the intro. I think that it was jarring. The trap put me right back to that first movie. I was entirely thrown off by Jigsaw's voice. I know that Darren and the team made an option to do that to really separate this film from directly being related to the OG, films. OG films, the first 8 films. I understand that, but John's voice in the first 8 is so haunting. So haunting. It's better than the first couple though. The first 6. No, I would say first 5 or 6 is when it's really its best. But they made this voice, it reminded me of some monotone, he wants to be intense but he's not. I just wasn't that voice made me want to laugh. I didn't like the voice, but I did really love the trap, and I love the way they filmed it. They went back to that original Saw editing, the jumpy editing. I loved it. I was like, this is great. I was into this, and I wasn't really in love with the whole pig idea. This film really focuses on pigs because it has it has everything to do with dirty cops, and we call dirty cops pigs, and pigs are already a big symbol within Jigsaw anyway, but I just the puppet. Billy is I don't know, it's I get what they were doing, and I know they didn't want it to be so much like the original, and they didn't want to pull so much, because sometimes when you pull so much from the first one or reference, like, you know, whatever, it can become too much. But it's like the things that it chose to reference were not things that I cared about. Like, at the end, it references the original Saw from the first movie, and then they just run with this whole pig idea, which is, like, cool when you think about it, but it's like, I showed up for the puppet, you know? Like, or the whole spiral thing, like, they're using the spirals, like, what about the fucking jigsaw pieces, you know? Like, it was just, yeah, but, so immediately we see, after we get the opening trap, which, also the opening trap, the way it gets to it is nothing like any Saw film. Usually it's like dark room, lights on, person like freaking out. But it was just like, we started a carnival, and then we see how they capture the guy that gets into the trap. But it's an amazing, all the traps in this are great. But we are finally introduced to like Chris Rock's character, who's like a cop that mostly hates his job but is there because of his dad, and everybody in the team hates him because he ratted out a dirty cop, and they're just like, which, I mean, like, I liked it, but it was just like kind of annoying. It was just like, I don't like, because I don't fucking care about all cops suck, like, fuck that shit. But I did, I mean, it's like, I liked that, but I was just like, you know, but it works, the whole cop thing, because there's always a cop plot line in any Saw movie anyway. And like, you know, Jigsaw unintentionally created a cab by literally killing off a whole fucking precinct in his first like 6 movies. But I know like Hoffman played a role in that anyway. Hoffman and Amanda played a role in targeting all the cops. But so like, you know, I did kind of like that, because whereas unintentional in the first films, or the first 8 films, it was very intentional that the cops were the targets in this film, because it's all about the dirty cops. So yeah, Chris Rock's character he's a rat, but he's like, you know, he's like huge in this whole thing. And he gets assigned a new partner. And they are immediately taken to the scene where they discover the body of the dude in the opening, and it comes out that he's a cop, and he's a really good friend of Chris Rock's character, Zeke. And they see a spiral, or they see something, and they're like, oh, this is a copycat Jigsaw killer. And we, the audience, know that it's not John Kramer. Like, we don't expect him, but basically they're looking for this copycat this whole film, basically. Before I move on with the plot, I discovered the plot twist in the middle of the film, and that has a lot to do with why I'm on the fence about this film. I'm on a fence about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Because there were things I did like about it, but I did not like Chris Rock's acting. I didn't like that I discovered the plot twist. I never discovered the plot twist. Like, and I always love how the plot twists are so like entangled, and it's like, it's right in front of your eyes, but isn't at the same time. You know, it's like Saw 2 set it up to where it's literally right in front of your eyes, but they created an environment that would distract you so much from everything that's pointing to the plot twist. And this movie held our hand through that. Wasn't a fan of that. So, you know, so Chris Rock's character Zeke becomes the lead detective on this, and they're just trying to find out who the fuck this is. And there's a bunch of like time in between like the next trap, and I remember thinking like, dude, like, we've been with these cops trying to find the Jigsaw killer for so long. Like, I just want to see somebody die in a trap. Like, I want to see some morals being tested. Like, this is what I fucking came for. But they had to, and it made sense towards the end, because they introduced this whole plot line where they start focusing more on Chris Rock's character ratting on his partner, getting his partner sent to jail.
And then there was another incident where one of the people in the precinct basically let Chris Rock's character get shot. Like, there's a lot of flashbacks happening. We have to have a scene with Samuel L. Jackson's character, who is the chief, ex-chief, I don't know, Chris Rock's dad, who is also a detective at some point. Relationships on the rocks. Like, there's a lot of humor in the first, like, 20 minutes in this movie, and then it just goes away, which is, like, you know, kind of weird. There's, like, a little bit towards the end, and then, like, the music in the beginning is all, like, soundtracky. Like, it's like songs are being played with lyrics, and it's all trap music, and then it goes to, like, cinematic music towards the end of the film, which is just like, what the fuck? Like, just like, that doesn't, it was just so inconsistent in so many ways. The most consistent thing was the editing, the directing, and the colors. Like, Darren, you did your thing. I'm just like, the writing is so questionable. A lot of things were questionable. And so they're trying to find the Jigsaw case, and they have a lead, and through that lead, one of the other cops get his trap, and it turns out he's the cop that let Chris Rock's character get shot, because this is after Chris Rock's character had ratted on his partner for being a dirty cop. They heard him saying, like, oh, I need backup, and in that he got shot. So his trap, another great trap, but we don't even get into the trap. We see him in his trap, and then we cut back to another scene with Chris Rock's character, maybe doing some scene with him and his new partner, which, newsflash, no shock to me, he turns out to be the fucking Jigsaw killer, which I was so mad when I discovered that. So we cut back to that, and then when they find his body, they get they keep getting these Jigsaw boxes, and these teal box. Why teal? Jigsaw was sending notes to him in these boxes. He was sending random people why teal? Why teal boxes? It could have been black. Why did you pick teal? It was so, you think fucking Jigsaw will use a teal box? What? I'm so mad about it, but he gets a thing, and they're like, oh, that's a clue. And that's when they find the dude's body or something shit like that. And they find out it's the other cop. And now they're like, oh, it's out to get cops. Yeah. And then here's where I knew the plot twist. We get another, like, cop discovery, and it's the partner. It's the new guy. And it's very evident, like, Jigsaw is, like, telling these cops, like, you're in this trap because you are a bad cop. Why would Jigsaw pick the new cop that hasn't even had an opportunity? Like, he's new, like, literally, this is his first week. So he hasn't been a bad cop yet. So that's when I knew. And then also, with all the traps, they would show, like they would show us how the traps go, and Jigsaw would say, you're a bad cop, and this is why you're a bad cop. And when they discovered his body, they were just like, oh, it's his tattoo, it's it's him, oh my god. Like, and I was like, that's not him. They're doing the fake, the different dead body thing that they've done in 2 other fucking movies. So that's when I knew it, but obviously I was like, what the fuck are they gonna do for the next hour of this movie? Also, Samuel L. Jackson's character was on for a scene and then just was gone, and Chris Rock's character kept trying to contact him, but he kept going to straight voicemail. And, like, I knew he was captured, but I think the movie wanted us to think that he was Jigsaw, but I was just like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So some other cop gets killed. Again, another great trap. And then finally, Chris Rock's character, some other clue leads him to go back to the cop he portrayed all those years ago. We already had a scene with him where he clearly showed that he was not guilty of being the Jigsaw killer. So why did Chris Rock go back there and say, you're the Jigsaw killer, instead of just, because it was like, it was like surveillance footage was deleted off the computer, and they were like, oh, we can see the last cops that logged in, and he was one of the cops. And it's like, all you need is a name and a badge number. Anybody could have fucking did that shit. Because the guy hasn't been a cop in years. So he goes back there like a dumbass and gets caught. And then we get like some like great references and great Charlie Clouser music. Darren wasn't kidding when he said that this is Charlie Clouser's like best thing. Like, he was not kidding. When Charlie Clouser's shit comes in, it's fucking amazing. Fuck all the trap music. Fuck 21 Savage. Like, but that was great. So he gets there, and we get like the OG Saw moment, but he doesn't cut his hand off or anything. He finds the key. Another great trap. And he tried, like, Jigsaw's like, will you save this cop or will you not? You know, because Pete, okay, I didn't explain that. So he wakes up in a room with his ex partner that innocently shot, that he ratted on. That was a dirty cop. He innocently shot a man. That's the scene they keep playing of him shooting a man. Like, we had to have known that fucking meant something. But Jigsaw is like, will you save this dirty cop or will justice finally be served? So you already know, like, he doesn't want him to save him, but he fucking tries to save him anyway, which is weird. And then he goes to his next trap, and it's not even a trap. We just meet who we know is the Jigsaw killer. It's his new partner. And he's like, you know how hard it was to try and be your partner? And yeah, Pete, your ex-cop, killed my dad all those years ago. And then it's like flashbacks of him saying, like, I've been dreaming of this moment since I was 12. And there's a flash. Oh, wait, we don't get that flashback yet. But, so the new Jigsaw, or the copycat Jigsaw killer, also known as the new cop that is Chris Rock's partner, is like, we can go together, we can work together and, like, use Jigsaw's philosophy to kill dirty cops. Not a bad thing. I don't like the whole idea of people like treating John Kramer like some sort of cult, because I hate cults. But I know that's like essentially what John was doing anyway. But it's very culty. And Chris is like, okay, but like, where's my dad? And the Jigsaw copycat's like, I'll show him. And he's like in this really cool like trap where he's like, the blood's being drained. And the cop is like, yeah, you shoot this target, your dad comes down. But he also made it so the police came for some reason. I know he had to for plot purposes, but it just made no sense as far as like a character. Like, why would you do that? So, but like, because I don't see how it really helps him. Like, I don't understand how the last trap works. But yeah, his dad's like in this blood thing, and Chris Rock is to shoot a target to let his dad go. Cops arrive. He shoots the target. His dad goes, but then the cops run upstairs, and the new Jigsaw killer gets on this elevator. They don't even say game over. But anyway, they get on this elevator, and like, Chris, instead of like helping his dad get out of this thing, because like he's not suspended in the air anymore, his blood isn't being drained, but like he's on the ground connected to this shit. Chris is like, I'm gonna go beat it. Like, it just made no sense. Like, you're not gonna. He ran to him, but he didn't do anything. He just like ran to him. It was like, Dad. So he goes on the elevator and tries to beat up the rookie cop, and then the police force comes in and they open the door, which we now see that there's a wire on the door, which we did not see before. It just like fucking appeared. So we know that wire is going to trigger shit. Like, don't open the door. And when they do, it suspends him back up in the air. This trap is stupid. And like, it suspends him back up in the air, and he looks like he's a puppet, which, oh, it turns out his dad, Chris Rock's dad, made this article which basically was like, kill people to like clean the streets. So dumb. But that's why the new Jigsaw killer was like, he was like, I'm doing this because of your dad, because his dad made that thing. Clever idea, but it was just like, okay. But so he's like on a puppet string, and we briefly see like a pig and a puppet a puppet pig, not Billy Pig, but a puppet pig. And then like there's like a shotgun on his arm and he points it at the police, and like the police just fucking shoot him. But I think that, and like Chris Rock just runs out and says no, and then the elevator goes up with the dude in it. He says shh, and then the movie ends. And I was like, was the trap for the police to shoot? What? Like, it was just like, the ending was kind of rushed. And, you know, when Darren said, like, we built the traps first and then we write the story, I was like, that's a great idea. But now I'm like, that's stupid. Because the traps are the best thing about this movie, amongst, like, the editing and, like, Charlie, like I said, Charlie Clouser. And, like, the idea, like, he's going after cops. You know, like, those are all great ideas, but like, what did they fucking do? I'm giving it, like, 3 stars. I have to give it 3 stars because it was just, like, I don't know. I just, better writers. I like that Darren's on board for the directing. I think that was a great choice, but the producers should have had better writers. And Chris, I love you, but you can't be serious, boo. Stick to comedy, because the comedy that was in it was random and it wasn't consistent, and literally it was like in the beginning of the movie, and it was just in the beginning, and there was no gradual, like, more serious. It just stopped, you know, like, yeah. So I am a little disappointed, a little, but not like entirely disappointed, not like Annabelle 2014 disappointed. Just like, you know, like, okay, you know, I would watch it again, but I'm still waiting for a modern Saw movie to make me feel like the first 3 Saws. How fucking hard is it?